Just you're gonna count down, or what do we do?
I don't
I
know
just
what
gotta
to
make
do
sure
with
it's
my
live.
hands.
I just gotta make sure it's live. There's a difference between starting the stream and making sure it's live.
Oh,
I just got a feedback that my headset is probably not the best way to go, so I'm gonna turn off my Bluetooth. And hopefully that sounds better on Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter like the old headsets.
I was trying, man. I was trying. All right, I'm going to pay attention
And we're
to John.
good to go.
Awesome. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, Twitter. This is Breaking the Ice in DeFi. I'm Neal. Got my co-host, Morgan. Thank you guys so much for coming in. You know, it's going to be a really fun day. I'm really excited about what we have planned. But before we get there, I did want to take a couple of minutes just to acknowledge everybody that served out there in the U.S. It's Memorial Day tomorrow. It's Memorial Day weekend. And, you know, I grew up on military bases my whole life and couldn't be more thankful for the men and women that have served this country throughout history. Those of you that have served that are still with us, just thank you so much. Those that haven't made it back, you know, I remember you, and you are in my thoughts. I grew up near the mall and getting to see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Those are memories for me as a child that I hold with me every day. And I just wanted to take a minute just to say thank you to all of those families that have sacrificed and all those people that have served, and also the people that served that didn't make it home. And so spend time with your families today. Definitely, if you have a chance to thank someone that has served, do it. And it's Memorial Day weekend, so I just wanted to give this just a quick special shout out to all of you out there. So this is, like I said, Breaking the Ice in DeFi. This is our second week on YouTube, face to face with our guests. Really excited about it. It's a great way to interact, and I just want to thank everybody that is on YouTube now for coming on in, and want to invite anyone on Twitter to feel free to head in until we get to the questions. It would also be awesome if you could do me a big favor and like and subscribe. It really helps enhance media. John just promoted at Glow Nation's weekly space on Friday. We have some really great shows in the works on this YouTube channel. You're going to want to stay apprised. This will be a once a week show, and we're really excited for it. But Morgan, I want to go to you quick and say, how are you? How's it going? What's going on in your world?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, all last week, all the armies were hyped up. There was Cryptopia in Salt Lake City. I know a bunch of our swap partners got to be there in person and to really experience what meeting everybody was like. And there was so much hospitality from the local people of Utah. I'm still excited to hear more about it. You know, today Swap and Evolve went live.
Right.
And that was completely unexpected. So it's been just a whirlwind of good news and positivity. So I'm really looking forward to, you know, the rest of the summer, really.
Yeah.
How about you, Neal?
Great times ahead. Yeah, good. I mean, you know, as the audience, as listen knows, I farm. This is my busy time in the Midwest because we don't get to start farming until just a couple weeks ago. And so we're just coming to the end of the hard stuff and moving into more of the maintenance mode. And that's very exciting. But obviously very excited about what's been going on in our corner of DeFi. You know, we have Glow with us. They're SafeMoon partners. Enhance is SafeMoon partners. We love SafeMoon. Enhance's whole project literally was born out of SafeMoon, right? Seeing good news, seeing all the engagement, seeing the Twitter handle of SafeMoon moving. Man, that's been so fun. Shout out to the guys running the Twitter handle of SafeMoon, because that's been so good and refreshing. But yeah, so I've been good, Morgan. Thanks for asking. Thank you again for being with me today. Guys, just real quick. She didn't know I was going to do this, but like, really thank Morgan for me. I begged, borrowed, and stole to get her to be with me in the show. And you know, for all of you listening, just give Morgan a big old thank you and shout out, because I wouldn't be able to do this the way we do it without her. So Morgan, thank you.
And thank you, Neal. I'm excited to be a part of this whole ecosystem, the enhanced media project itself, and a lot more behind the scenes. So it'll be fun.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it. Let's introduce. We have two guests today. Pretty exciting. We have Shane, which is the COO of Glow, and Brian, the CEO of Glow, with us today. Gentlemen, how are you?
I am good. So I am just off a 24-hour flight, so if I come across a bit groggy, I do apologize to everyone.
Well,
Hey guys, this is Brian Lawrence, CEO of GlowV2. I am doing, exceptionally well. I found out today that my mother-in-law has beaten stage 2 cancer. So we are actually at her house right now celebrating with her and the family. It's been an absolutely amazing Memorial Day weekend. Absolutely, blessed day. I couldn't ask for a better day.
yeah, man. I mean, there's two dichotomies coming into today a little bit. Shane's exhausted off of a very long flight, and Brian, man, just shout out to your mom. Like that's amazing. Congratulations. I'm so happy to hear you and your family being able to experience that. Not about me today, but I'm actually a family pastor at a church, right? And I'm preaching. I've said no for 10 years to preaching because I've been a youth pastor and I've just not been interested in it. But I'm actually preaching in a week about thankfulness and the discipline of thankfulness. Now, it doesn't always require great things to be thankful. You can also be thankful in the worst of times, but it is so much sweeter when it's a good moment. And man, just that's amazing. It's awesome. I mean, congratulations to your mom, to your family, to everybody. I'm so glad to hear that she beat cancer, man.
Absolutely amazing. I will say that.
What a great weekend,
man.
too. And you get a picture, right? Yeah, that's amazing. Well, yeah. I mean, let's jump into it because we do have a few places to go. I want to talk more about your family a little bit, Brian. So I want to start with you. Give us just a rundown. Who are you? I'm not talking about crypto here. I'm talking about you. Talking about before. You predate Web3, right? So tell us who you are, where you came from, what you're about, what your background is.
Oh yeah. So, I've always been into electronics since I was a kid. My dad was a forklift technician for electric forklifts. So I learned at a very young age how to work on electronics. So, I kind of took that passion of mine and I brought it to, I went to college. I actually got a degree in electronics. I learned everything there is to know about electronics and how to build and do pretty much anything I want with them.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to learn about the programming. And I learned about the programming. And that was kind of the steps it took me to actually get to learn the DeFi space. So I've always been a big stock trader as well. One of my most favorite things to do was, being a day trader. I've been day trading for years. Then I learned about the DeFi space, learned about crypto. I actually bought Bitcoin back in the day when it was $13 a Bitcoin. Imagine
Wow.
that.
What?
I had 30 of them, 30 Bitcoin.
Oh, did you hold
I
them?
spent it on stupid stuff. I spent it on stupid stuff that got me no value. So,
Pizza.
what really got me interested was when I logged into my Coinbase account and realized that was what was, equivalent to 10 cents was now equivalent to I think it was $13,000. I was like, what in the world?
Gosh. I would have been really excited because that's a lot of money, but also I would have gone green. Like just the full implications of that. Did you grow up in the U.S. and where did you grow up?
Yeah, I was born in Alabama, but I moved to the moved to Georgia at a young age. I moved to Georgia when I was around 5. My dad worked for Redstone Arsenal, which was part of NASA. Then he moved
Cool.
to Atlanta to kind of, go off on a business venture of his own.
Yeah.
And it, well, it is what it is, but his business venture didn't go very successful. So that's when he joined a absolutely amazing company and, learned how to work on electric forklifts. And that's kind of where my passion came in, learning the electric side of
Hear that?
everything.
Full circle.
Yeah. So, he went from working at NASA to working on forklifts. And, believe it or not, he is the happiest he's ever been. So it's actually amazing how his career, kind of turned. But,
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been in Georgia for the last, I don't know, 25 years or more. It's a huge part of who I am. I will always be an Alabama fan, don't get me wrong. Absolutely, roll tide all the way.
I don't know. You don't have to go there.
I will say that, kind of had to choose a berth, but yeah, roll tide.
Yeah.
And, learning about crypto kind of brought me into the space where I got to learning about how cryptos worked on the DeFi space.
Yeah.
And then I got to looking at the coding, and I was like, well, this isn't really that confusing. I could, make a contract and build a crypto to do good for the world.
Having been
what I
in,
did.
Having been in stock trading, how would you describe the percentage gains in difference once you realized what DeFi was compared to what you were getting back in the stock market?
Well, it depends on which part. I also invested pretty largely into what's it, Kodak. Back when it was $2 a share, so I did receive some massive gains off that. So I can't say much about that. I did get lucky. That was actually my first, I guess, real day trading experience. I'm used to making, $20-$30 off of it, off a day trade. And then all of a sudden, I kind of maxed out at, I think I went, what was it, 800% on it, which was absolutely amazing. So no complaints there. So then I really got to learning the charts, and that's what's really kept me interested in everything, literally everything that I've done. And I kind of learned the patterns of day trading, but that's beside the point. The biggest thing was, is I've always been a fan of DeFi. I learned about SafeMoon when it first launched. I jumped on SafeMoon. I actually bought it a couple of days after it launched.
Nice.
I will say I have made money off of SafeMoon when it went up on its main rise. It dropped. I bought more in, and I will still say I am a huge supporter till this day of SafeMoon.
Absolutely.
But in the process of all that, I learned that there is a lot of bad programs. There's a lot of bad projects. I have invested in multiple different cryptocurrencies and got the footing pulled out from under me. Got rug pulled. I got honey potted. I don't think there's a term yet that I haven't been through.
My first iteration of Twitter Spaces, the first attempt at building this thing was I tried to do a show called Disasters in DeFi with Enhance, and it's because everybody has the most epically beautiful, awful stories. Absolutely, yeah. And my only beef with Atlanta, by the way, is the airport had a brewery in it, and I had the best brown ale I've ever had in my life in the Atlanta airport called the Sweet Bobby Brown. And I went back there because I fly through there to go home in Gulfport. It was gone, just ripped out of the airport. So I'm a little bit frustrated with Atlanta at the moment, but we'll get past that. That's the point.
Let's go to we'll go to Sweetwater, and I'll take you there. And
that's what it was, Sweetwater. The Sweet Bobby Brown. Go
I
ahead.
figured it was by the name, but yeah, it's right down the road. I will
Oh,
take you there personally, and we will
let's
check it
go.
out.
That sounds amazing. It was the best brown ale I've ever had in my life. I'm not joking, but this is beside the point. So you got rug pulled, you got honey potted, you have every story that there is to have in DeFi. I love it. That's amazing. I think that's a good breaking point too. I want to just let Shane catch up with his side of life too, if that's okay.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So Shane, tell us about yourself. Where do you live? Where are you from? Who were you before all this mess? I mean,
Yeah, so
I said that loving.
I'm from Ireland. I'm still living in Ireland. I'm from Dublin, the capital. Still living in Dublin, the capital. I've sort of done a bit of a full circle. So when I was 18, I told my parents I was going to leave the house when I was 18. And when I tell people I'm going to do something, I normally end up doing it. So rent in Ireland is pretty extreme. So the only way I was going to do that was to join the military. So I joined the Navy and went in as communications and doing a lot of search and rescue coordinating in there. And then I was there for about a year and a half. I got offered a degree program in the Irish Air Corps, went there, became an aircraft engineer and working on helicopters and stuff mostly. Did, I think it was 5 or 6 years there, and went into civilian aviation then. During my time in the Air Force, money.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Just 1 second. You fly planes?
No, I fixed them. I'm an aircraft engineer.
Oh, okay, got it. I just want to make sure I heard you right. I was like, what? Okay, continue. I'm sorry. Thank you.
I do have a private pilot's license, so I can fly little Cessnas and stuff like that. I did that on the side. But yeah, so I fix aircraft for a living. I left the Air Force, but during we'll go back a little bit. During my time in the Air Force, I was on apprentice wages, so money was pretty poor. So I was always doing something on the side. So I actually ended up managing Hewlett Packard's, the computer company sales team in Ireland, on the side while I was in the military. It wasn't the most greatest thing to be doing at the time, but everyone has to pay bills and stuff like that. So I was doing that. I always sort of had a couple of business ideas on the side. I started with some drop shipping e-commerce stores. Lost a lot of money on them, but learned a lot. And then when I was 24, 25, I sort of hit the money one. So I started to bring electric scooters into Ireland, and I made a lot of money on this. I grew it from basically in my bedroom to a brick and mortar store, and then sold the business and bought my house and stuff out of it. So that's sort of how I started to move into the business side of things. So I'll be quite a business minded individual compared to most in this space. And that's sort of where I was always sort of messing around with cryptocurrency and investing in it. I was in Bitcoin pretty early as well. Not as early as Brian. I think it was in around the $130 mark. I sold at about 280, but still made money. Didn't make as much money as.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, still made money.
Just a point, something you both brought up that I really love. And it's one of the reasons I like Enhanced, right? Like, this Enhanced Media is run through the Enhanced project. And so one of the reasons I'm so passionate about them is because in a story Ninja from Needless always talks about when they launched, the day of their first launch, Hudson, one of the core team members, said, listen, I hope if you do really well on this launch, that you take your initial investment and take some profit, and I mean, still support us, but this isn't about you losing money. This is about you trying to do something positive in your life, right? And both of you have brought up that same genuine desire for people to win in the space, and that's something that's missing. And so, just right away, we haven't even got to Glow yet, but I really love your guys' approach so far, and I identify with that very much, because it's something that, I've been in SafeMoon for a long time. I've been in other communities for a long time. We talk about diamond hands a lot, and that's great. But we're also real people, and we're in this to try to change our lives. And so just wanted to call that out because both of you have brought it up now. And so, Shane, keep going. I cut you off. But yeah.
So my entry into DeFi was sort of quite recent. It sort of started with SafeMoon. I didn't know much about the space at all. Still learning a lot. Crypto's still quite new to me, but I've been doing consultancy for a lot of businesses on the side in other spaces. And I sort of got into SafeMoon, was invested in that, and then I seen that Glow became a partner with SafeMoon, and they sort of just, I got rug pulled a couple of times before I got into SafeMoon. Obviously, as everyone in this space, I don't think you've been in this space and not got rug pulled, but I did anyway. And I found Glow, and I didn't really see another team out there that was trying to be so transparent. We're probably a bit too transparent at times, but we do.
You're on my show, so
Yeah.
just absolutely keep it.
And then I met Brian, and I started talking with Brian and sort of told him about my background and stuff like that. And I started in Glow as a marketer. Did okay with that, Brian, I suppose. And then Brian promoted me to the COO. So that's where I am now. We've been doing a lot over the last, I think I'm here 2 months now, Brian, is it? About that. So we're doing a lot, and we're just about to sort of tear up our whole roadmap and start again. We sort of come together as a team and decided we're not going to be just like every other project and stop trying to follow in every other project's footsteps. There's so many good projects out there with awesome wallets and awesome swaps and stuff like that. There's no point in trying to replicate that, and we're going to do our own thing. So the stuff we have planned, no one's going to have seen it before in the space. It's pretty exciting. It's going to be unique. It's going to be a big USP.
That's very exciting.
Yeah, and I hope it will drive us to where we all want to be. So we're all working full-time jobs on the side, and we want to make a full-time job.
So Shane is very modest. He is very modest. So Shane says, he guesses he'd done a good job. This man, within a 2-week time frame, had already found over 100 different collaborations with people that have real life utilities that truly want to do better for the world. So you want to talk about somebody that's putting in the hours and the time? Shane has definitely put in the hours, the time, the dedication, and he knows the operation side of things. I mean, he's absolutely a truly amazing individual. So when I say, when he says, he put in the time, I mean, that is completely an understatement. He done absolutely phenomenal within the 2-week time frame, and I honestly don't know what I'd do without him.
I'm just going to skip forward real quick and ask Shane a question, because being a strategic planner can be a really difficult thing to figure out what steps come first. What do you feel is the most beneficial thing to start off with in your role right now in the DeFi space? Is it networking? Is it collaboration? Is it the innovation? What sticks out to you as being the most important thing to focus on?
For me, it's definitely networking. So we've had the most amazing partnerships stem from a conversation about nothing really. We have quite a big NFT partnership that we are about to drop on our AMA tomorrow. We've figured out the percentages and stuff like that, and that sort of stemmed from nothing really. It was nearly an argument on a phone call that stemmed from, and it turned into one of the most fruitful partnerships that we have so far. I think as well, with strategic planning in this space, everyone wants everything to move at 100 miles an hour, and it's a hard mentality to change, because we want to run more like a business and not just a meme coin or something like that as well. So it's sort of changing people's mentality. So that's sort of why we took the decision to just completely tear up the roadmap and sort of start again and evolve into who we want to be. I think you need to be not afraid to take risks in this space, and to come together as a team and really bring a good utility to the forefront, because that's what this space is all about now. The hype train is gone. The 10,000x coins and stuff built on hype are gone. It's going to be all about utility and real world utility, and that's what's going to differentiate the successful projects from the. So you can see like what Enhance are doing, like they have real world utility. SafeMoon have real world utility. They're the projects that are at the forefront, and we want to start chasing that a bit more as well.
Absolutely.
exactly.
So real quick, let's dial it backwards though, and let's go back to Brian here, and you were about to get here, and I was like, hold on one second, let's get to Shane first, and let's go back to where you were talking, because you started thinking, hey, I can build a smart contract, I can do that, I can make this happen.
Mhm.
Talk to us about starting Glow. Just walk us through the story of how this all came to be.
Starting Glow was by far the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. To make a legitimate business out of a cryptocurrency is one of the toughest challenges that you will ever face. So I am all for anybody who wants to try. I'm all for helping, support the ones that are, in this field that want to do good for the world, that want to create something amazing. But I'm going to tell you, it is a challenge, especially if you're US based. Because of the lack of regulation, it makes literally everything that you do 1,000 times harder. Now, I will say I'm not 100% full regulation, but I do believe that some regulation needs to happen, just to remove the fear out of cryptocurrency in general, which will, improve the DeFi space, or really all of cryptocurrency as a whole, by or tremendously. I mean, it's absolutely something that will have to happen, but that's a completely different kind of story.
Yeah.
So to get back to the contract, so I got to looking at it, I got to learning about it, I got to seeing how to turn basically Java into Solidity, trying to get the understanding of it. There was a lot of learning curves. I think my first 80 contracts failed before I made one that actually worked. And that was by far one of the happiest days of my life. It took forever to get that to actually come through. Now I've been studying it for, since I think we launched on December 2nd. So I've been studying it, learning contracts ever since then. Been studying Solidity. I've come a long way as far as that goes.
Yeah.
There is a lot of work that goes into it. It's not something that is I wouldn't really consider it a taught language. I mean, you can find stuff on the internet, but it's not something that is necessarily easy to come across. But with that being said, trying to create something that gives back to everybody. There was a lot of learning curves. That's kind of why we're on V2, as you look at it. But we've come a long way since the actual kickoff of Glow, and I'm proud to say that we have made it where we are. It's actually a huge feat.
Agreed.
Sorry about coughing in y'all's ear.
That's okay. What was the background of you wanting to get a smart contract to work and start a token so badly? Because there's a theme here, by the way, and I'm chasing a theme. I'll just share. Both of you said, I want to make a difference in this space. I want to get involved, right? And you both did it slightly differently. And I want to hear how the story of Shane meeting, you mentioned it briefly, but I want a little more detail on how you kind of came to Glow and how that all went down. But before we go there, Brian, this story is repeated so many times in my conversations that I've had. Because even though this is only the second episode, we've been interviewing people for a while now. And every interview has been echoed just like somebody saying, hey, I'm here. I am going to get involved. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make something special. So I'm really interested to hear more about what that was for you. What was that motivation? Why did you think it was so important to get this thing to work? Because you did, I'm sure, several iterations. I'm learning Jazz JS right now, and it's a nightmare, and I'm new to it. But anyway, tell me what was there for you.
All right. So after you've been rug pulled a certain amount of times, and after you've been honeypotted a certain amount of times, and it's the amount of times that you really don't want to admit to. It makes you want to bring a light to DeFi, and that's what I did. Is I created Glow so that I could bring a light to the darkness of DeFi. I wanted something that people could feel 100% secure about. I mean, everything that we have done, we've done it transparent. We have let, literally, I mean, everything. I get told I'm too transparent. I get onto by the team way too much. I see Shane's face. Because I want to be the guy that lets everybody know everything that is going on, all the way, to every extent. Sometimes, it means you count your chickens too early, which is unfortunate, when you're planning something. But at the end of the day, I mean, everything that is done by GlowV2, GlowToken LLC, we are doing it to benefit the holders, the investors. We are looking to, look out for their well-being. It ain't for us. I haven't made a dime off this project. It's literally for the investors. It's for something that they can look into. It's for something that benefits them. The whole design of the token is literally to benefit the investors. It's to benefit the investors. It's to benefit, a charity to children, to everyone that we can. Everything is literally built to benefit everybody but the ones who created it. Which is weird to say, but I'm 100% okay with that. I mean, that is God's honest truth. I didn't do this for myself.
Right. So you would say the drive that you have, that burning fire, to put it just as to the finest point possible, was to give a project that wouldn't rug pull somebody. I think. Go ahead.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that is 100% it. We don't want to do anything that is considered, wishy-washy or, corrupt or anything in that sense. I mean, literally everything we do is 100% transparent.
And the great part about
Absolutely.
Glow is that it also offers people a chance to really give back, knowing that, their full contribution is going to the right places.
Right.
Oh, 100%. And that kind of goes to the line of utility. Shane mentioned something about, looking at our future and looking at what we're trying to build, throwing out the old roadmap and, incorporating a new one. What we are trying to build is absolutely amazing. It is going to be through the nonprofit that we are looking to build. We can't give too much details because if we do, then the project's gone. Somebody's going to take it. So I can't get into details on that. I will have to, kind of kick myself in the rear for that. But just know that there is something amazing coming. It's, going to benefit not only SafeMoon and all the SafeMoon partners. It's going to benefit every one of the holders that we can possibly reach out to.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely amazing. And we're excited. I just wish we could announce it, but it is on the way.
Come on, you can tell us.
Brian wants to announce everything all the time. That's Brian's downfall.
It's
That
funny
is very true.
because there's so many similarities to you and Chase. Like there's been a couple things that have come up. Like I know exactly what that is. Like we have the same CEO almost. Like in terms of just wanting to. It's your enthusiasm, though, right? And I love that. Shane, talk us through how you found Glow and how you got involved, real quickly, before we move into more Glow-oriented conversations.
I was an investor in SafeMoon, and then obviously, like everyone, I started to notice that the partners they were bringing to the platform got a nice little spike. So invested in Glow, made a few bob out of it. Got quite heavily involved with the team. I became a moderator on the Discord first. Started to really like what they were doing. Got chatting to the team. Then they were looking for someone to take over some marketing, and so I was sort of telling them about what my background was in the past and what I did. I'm not great at selling myself because I like to sort of under promise, over deliver. That's sort of the way I always did. So Brian took a chance on me, and I'm still here today. So I'm doing something okay. But yeah, so with the utility side of things, the way I like to operate, because a downfalls I've seen of a lot of projects is they hype everything up too much, and then it becomes 6 months, 12 months down the line, and everyone's still when. So
what are you talking about? I've never experienced that. Never.
Oh, exactly. So we're doing all the background work now, so that when we update the roadmap and drop the utilities, we can sort of roll it out more or less straight away. So the partnerships are being developed in the background at the moment, and the conversations are being had. We have so many chats going back and forward. Even in Singapore, I was able to make some time to meet and exchange over there. I've developed a pretty sweet partnership with them. It's not every day you get to actually meet the CEO of an exchange. So I was in their head offices and meeting them, have a bit of a partnership rolling in the background with them as well. So that's what I'm good at doing. I'm good at getting in front of the right people. I'm always being quite good at that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Irish charm. Who knows? But I seem to have a knack of wiggling myself.
I'm half Irish. Yeah. I think what's really compelling. I mean, I'm all about the utility, but I do want to keep it up. And sometimes what's fun about this space is the people that are building it don't always like to get thumbed down very hard and get focused on themselves. But something that you said that I'm not going to let slip is that you got involved. You got on Discord. You got to the point where they were letting you mod. You kept standing up and saying, "Hey, I want to make this space better." And to me, that is this bigger story in DeFi that's unfolding. It's people just saying, "Yeah, I have something to offer, and I can make this space better." And decentralization, by the way, is what this is about. It's about everyone being able to make impact and build something more beautiful than just one person in an office somewhere doing it all, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you did with Glow. And now you're the COO because you got involved. Morgan, what's up? Sorry, I think you're trying to cut in on me.
I was just, now that we've filled up in the Twitter room, I was just going to remind everybody that the last pinned tweet has the information on how you can tune in on our live YouTube stream. So be sure to check that out so you can like and subscribe and stay up to date.
Thanks, Morgan. I appreciate you. But does that make sense, Shane? Like really, that can't be understated. The fact that you were a community member that just said, I can make an impact here. And fast forward, what now? 5 months, you're the COO, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we need to see more of in this space is people, like there's so many great investors out there that have ridiculous skill sets that can be brought over to crypto, which aren't your generic skill sets that people think of in crypto, that can propel this to the next level. Because like I knew nothing about smart contracts or anything like that until I got into Glow, and I'm still trying to understand it to the best of my ability. But there's so much more that people can offer, and all people need to do is stand up and make a difference, whether that means helping promote projects on Twitter from something small like that, or offering up their skill sets. So like everyone can make a difference in this space, and like we want to see more and more people roll into this space and to really push it on. And like it's great to see sort of all the projects starting to come together a bit more and not sort of focus on each other individually. And I think that's what's going to sort of make the space really jump forward. I think the more people that come together, the more minds that come together, we can do something great, as everyone says.
I agree.
You know, I'd like to kind of, reiterate some of that. So, the entire GlowV2 team was all investors. The entire team, everyone in there believed in the project. That's why, I brought them on. They're absolutely amazing people. They have contributed so much. Our first ever investor was Kimmy. Kimmy is one of the heart and souls behind GlowV2. She's absolutely amazing. She puts, so much work into it. She is, honestly, I don't know what I would do without her. She is the backbone of Glow as far as what people don't get to see. She does everything that you can imagine with the charities. And then it comes to, Legion in the spaces. he brings in the love. He brings in the awareness. He does
I gotta say,
absolutely great things.
you guys have something special with Legion. Shout out to Legion. Like, but we just launched this show a week ago. The first appearance I ever made talking about the show for real was on Legion Space. That Twitter that we created has over, I think it's approaching 150 followers overnight after Friday Space. I mean, just like your guys' community is strong. It's very, very strong. Legion's doing an excellent job. And so I just, since you brought him up, like, just shout out to Legion, man. Thank you so much for having us out.
Oh, Carl, aka Legion, he is absolutely amazing guy. If y'all get
And
to
Jacob,
ever get
too.
to know him, oh yeah, Jacob is too. Jacob, he's our web dev. He does a lot of things. He developed the.
Jason, the coworker with Legion.
Oh, you're talking about Jason. Jason, oh, he
Yeah.
does great stuff. He's
Yeah.
actually a moderator.
Yeah. Wow.
He is a moderator that goes above and beyond. His goal is to become a core member, and he is constantly trying to prove himself. He does a lot of things. He is pretty much made himself a producer role. He goes out and he meets with all these different tokens. He vets them. He looks at them. He does a lot of different things that, you know, the typical moderator wouldn't do. He's absolutely amazing.
I agree.
You know, Shane, he came in off SafeMoon. So did Jared. Shane, he's been phenomenal as far as operations go. He is a man of many talents. Don't let him fool you. He does so much work in the background. Then you got Jared, who you will see tomorrow all the stuff he's been working on if you tune into our space. He is a man of many talents. He is extremely well educated. He knows a lot about the crypto spaces. You know, I am proud to say he's a member of the team, and he just does absolutely amazing things. I couldn't be more blessed with the team that I have. I am a very thankful guy.
I can't wait to talk to all those guys here over the next month and a half. But let's keep it on you guys for a little while. You both have redirected away from yourselves a couple of times. I love it. But let's keep going. Morgan, what's up?
I was heading that way too, Neal. That's funny. So this first part is going to be for you, Brian. Glow's made a name for itself in a pretty short amount of time, so there might be some overlap. But Brian, what is your greatest accomplishment so far? It doesn't have to be about Glow. It could be about anything really, but what's the one thing that's really kind of molded your life into the direction it is currently that you would say is a life accomplishment?
The biggest thing is honestly, you know, the celebration that I have going on today, helping getting my mother-in-law through cancer. And not only that, you know, my mom had heart failure, and, you know, being able to do this and focus time on her has been able to help her get through this. It gives her something to be motivated towards, and it's amazing.
Yeah. I was pretty young when I had my own personal experience with that. My mother had breast cancer when I was in 4th grade. So I imagine it's a lot harder as an adult to kind of cope with the realities at those hard times. But I'm really overjoyed for you guys.
Oh yeah, it's been a great. I will say that the last month has been great. My mom has pulled through her heart failure. Her heart is now working 76%, which is, you know, really well. My mother-in-law with her breast cancer, she has stage 2. They caught it late, but she has pulled through. So I'm truly blessed.
Yeah.
All right, if you don't mind, if you don't
go ahead.
mind, Brian, just I got a little too much background with heart failure. How for those that don't know, tell us about how scary that can be when you're walking through it.
It's one of the toughest things I've ever had to deal with.
Yeah. My heart failed for 10 days, straight up. Didn't work 10 days. And my wife with my 4 kids were alone. It really wrecked my whole world. And it's one of the scariest, uncontrollable things that I've ever had to go through personally, and my family's ever had to walk through. And it is sort of to hear your mom coming up to having 76%, I think you said, operating is incredible. It's just it sounds like stability. It sounds like less unknowns, less worry, less fear. And really happy to hear that, man.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I am so sorry I'm getting emotional, but
We apologize.
it
Absolutely
is.
not. Yeah. It's an emotional thing. It's this crazy, scary thing you have to walk through, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. It sucks that our bodies fail, and that we have to have loved ones go through scary moments, and that it's just you do your best, and sounds like you got a good mother. That's
That was
awesome.
the best month of my life. I will put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, to transition
Morgan, go ahead.
back to you, Shane, you mentioned about your military background and how you were able to start a company. I think it was the one about electric scooters.
Yeah.
So first part of that question is, how long ago was that? Because electric, bicycles and scooters are kind of a new thing in the mainstream.
Yeah, so it was about 3 years ago. So I was the first person in Ireland doing it. I'd never had any. I started off drop shipping from Germany. It wasn't very successful at the start because obviously not many people knew about it. So I sort of developed everything from the Facebook marketing side of things to the supply chain from China to everything. So I just figured it out. I was able to
Built the
charge.
whole thing, and so let's do it.
Yeah, I was able to charge ridiculous money and stuff for changing punctures and stuff on scooters because bike shops wouldn't touch them because they had a motor. So I did okay. But yeah, I sort of got in, got out at the right time. It was a niche market. It's everyone is doing it now. So I got in and got out at the right time.
So
Yeah.
given all that, including Glow as well, what was the biggest accomplishment of your life so far?
Probably getting on COO of Glow, to be honest. And that's not blowing anyone's horns or anything like that. It's what I really truly enjoy doing is building relationships with people and meeting new people. I was over in Singapore for work with my aircraft engineer job, and I was able to make some time to hook up at an exchange that I found out about there. Was in their main offices, met their CEO. It's not every day you get to get in front of people like that, and they want to work with Glow. We can't give details on that, but it's when you have an exchange coming to you that want to work with you, it's a pretty big deal.
Absolutely. So either one of you can go with this question. This whole show is about decentralized finance. It's about hopefully making an impact and adoption of it, right? Because we want to see more people come into the space, and we want to give them a way to learn about it in a way that's approachable. We also want the people in it to understand it in a deeper way, right? Like we really want, because this concept is so important. This concept of being able to take control of yourself to a large extent and allow others to also do that. That's why I fell in love with SafeMoon, right? Bank for the unbanked, right? Like DeFi, decentralization. It's what this is all about. What about DeFi and decentralization is exciting and important to both of you guys?
For me, I mean, it's the ability to create whatever you can really envision. I mean, a lot of people don't know that we are one of the highest passive incomes on the market. They don't know that because they haven't that's not really something that we, really promote, because our biggest thing that we do is helping others. That is what our favorite thing is. Uh, but as far as, the aspect of everything we do, the entire token is built for giving back. And when we say giving back, it's giving back to the holders, it's giving back to the, giving back to charity. It's giving back in multiple ways. We're actually looking at developing a 501c3, which is a nonprofit, to even give back more, to give back scholarships, to, build something that is absolutely amazing. More to come, I promise you that. Y'all wouldn't believe the paperwork behind it, but we are getting there.
Oh, I would.
But
Yeah,
I mean, you can, with DeFi, you can do whatever. I mean, decentralized finance is absolutely amazing feat. I love everything about it. I love literally everything about it. That's why we haven't quite made it to a centralized exchange, because we want kind of what SafeMoon is putting in place for us with GlowToken. Everybody knows GlowTalks, or global tokenomics. We're waiting on that to hit the centralized exchange, because we don't want to change who we are just to be more well known on a centralized exchange. We want to be able to continue to support the community, to support the charities, to do what we do on the backgrounds everywhere. Once, SafeMoon makes that a common practice, once they break through the innovations of DeFi and bring it into the centralized world, that's just going to be a blessing, a gift to not only us as GlowToken, but as for really everybody. I don't think people quite understand what they're doing in the background.
And just to say it, like, you're absolutely right at the foundation of what you're saying. Like, anybody can come in here and build something that doesn't exist, right? Like, and can innovate and change the way the world works fundamentally. And all it takes is someone to go in and write, I don't remember exactly what you said, 60, 70 smart contracts that all fail to find the one that works, right? Right? I mean, yeah.
That is true. I mean, if you look at how many literally is named shit coins. If you look at how many shit coins are actually on the blockchain, probably 90% are mine. Can't find the right one.
That's awesome.
Oh, man.
Shane, how about you, man?
For me, I love how fast crypto can move. So to get stuff done, let's say in your traditional bricks and mortar type of business, takes a long, long time. But a year in crypto is like 20 years in an that's what I love about it. I love the fast pace of it. It's not for everyone. It can get quite hard to keep on top of sometimes. But that's what I really like about it. I really like the fast pacing of it, meeting new people. I've heard the wildest ideas off people in recent times, and the tech coming to crypto at the moment is absolutely insane, with the metaverse and all that sort of stuff kicking off. I haven't even got into the metaverse myself. That's something that I really need to do. But yeah, that's what for me. It's just the tech. The tech is absolutely nuts. I think like this is going to be the next sort of step of the world, really.
So how I'm interested to get your perspective, and this is really this part of the show is really about the education side of things, to really help people see the bigger picture of everything that's going on. When I talk to people in my day-to-day life that don't know about cryptocurrency, blockchain, Web3, any of it, metaverse, I talk about how you had dial-up, you had data on your cell phones, and now you got Web3. That's like the best way I can get my head around it for someone who knows nothing. How do you do that? I mean, because like you're right, the tech side of it is so exciting. You want to just unload on these new people for the space to just say, wow, these are all these things. But could you elaborate a little more and tell us more about what you mean by the tech side and yeah.
Yeah, so like that's sort of one of my main goals with Glow as well, is to make DeFi more accessible to people, whether it be through, so listing on an exchange is great and all, but for me, that's not the most important thing. It's about bringing sort of fiat on ramps, fiat off ramps, so that people can literally just go to a website with their debit or credit card, make a transaction, and just that's how simple it is. Because to educate people, especially sort of older people, on going to Pancake Swap, buying PNB, swapping it for this, swapping it for that, gas fees, slippage, it's just way, way over their head. Like, we actually have an investor who's just over 80, Brian, I think it is, and we spent he found us on what was it, Bloomberg News?
He actually found us on Newsmax. He didn't. Bloomberg airs too late for him, but yeah. So he found us on the Newsmax. We've been on television. I've been on television. I want to say about I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 different times. I've been on Bloomberg, Newsmax, Fox Business. Just promoting the project, getting the project out there, trying to show the world what a cryptocurrency can do for the world.
Yeah.
I'll just bring it back, but like basically the whole team nearly got on a call with this guy for 3 or 4 hours, talking him through the process of buying Glow. So we need to make it simpler. Everyone in the space needs to make that simpler. And there is ways there is ways out there now to make it simpler, and we will be partnered with them very soon. And
to see mass adoption, to see the end of the need for fiat overall and the adoption of decentralization, we have to.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, and that to me is the ultimate goal. That's me personally. And maybe not everyone agrees with that, but for me, that's what it's about. Like, it's not about pegging the SafeMoon to the dollar. It's about SafeMoon being a SafeMoon, the Glow being a Glow, right?
Exactly.
I digress.
But it's the same. If like 30 years ago you were going to tell someone that you're going to have a device in your hand that you can find every piece of information in the world that ever existed, people would tell you you're wild and you're a loony bin and you should be in So like that was done in...
They'd be saying you're watching too much Doctor Who, right?
Yeah, exactly. What's this space going to look like in 10 years? And especially how it's moving? Who knows?
It's one of those things that's the biggest killer for us. So just like you were talking about, you want to know Glow for Glow, SafeMoons for SafeMoon, Enhance for Enhance. So one of the biggest kickers that we're all working with is the fact that we all are based on the Binance chain. Don't get me wrong. I love Binance. I love what they have done. But let's be honest. The price impact of BNB dropping has kicked every one of our tails. I mean, that is the God's honest truth. Yeah. I mean, technically, our token would be 20% up if it wasn't for Binance dropping 50%. So, it's one of those hindsight things. I mean, we launched when, Binance was at $620 a BNB. So, technically, to see the gains off of all the the drop, the fluctuation of BNB is absolutely amazing that we've had that. Now I only see uphill from here, but trying to get away from the drop of BNB, become our own entity, work with SafeMoon to see what kind of entity we can be with them. Again, I always respected Chase. I love Ace with SafeMoon. Well, I guess he goes by E-Unit now. He's such a good dude, such a great guy. I can't wait to see what kind of future innovations we can have together. I actually have something I want to talk to him about that goes with the utility we're developing. But that's beside the point. That's later down the road. But I think he's going to be super excited. It's actually going to be our first opportunity to partner with something. But yeah, I mean, there's so much different things that we got going on. I'm just excited to see where the space is right now.
You mentioned 2 quick points I want to touch on. One being the 3-hour, 4-hour conversation with that investor. So how have you noticed? I mean, I've noticed myself that you guys go above and beyond to give customer service. I mean, Brian, you've mentioned a few times that a lot of investors have your personal phone number. So how has realizing the need for that really played into GlowV's success?
Honestly, we're still working through the struggles of it. I mean, we're working to get a direct buy that's going to eliminate majority of the stress that we have. But until we get that, we are still, every one of the team members, every one of the moderators, every one of the community is always open for conversation.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, majority of these folks, they have my personal phone number. I'm always willing to talk to anybody and everybody, any time of the day, any time of the night, to help them get squared away. I know that we are, you know, worldwide versus countrywide, so the last thing I want to do is make it inconvenient for anybody who has questions. So they have my direct number. They can call me at any time, anywhere, any place, and I will be more than happy to work with them, or at least point them to the direction of somebody that can work with them at the time of their need, and we will get through any issues, going forward. Eventually, we will have it to where it's seamless. Luckily, working with Endocoin, they have helped us tremendously on the basically everywhere outside the U.S. as far as the direct buy portal. We have that, at least with them. But we are working to make a U.S. direct buy portal. And, that's going to eliminate a lot of the troubles we have. Now, don't get me wrong. I am so excited about what's going on with SafeMoon, what's going on with everything there, to make it to where I can explain how to off-ramp everything. I can't give
Shane,
too
I
much
feel like
details.
we need to like get a mute button that you can press for Shane or for Brian over here. That's awesome.
I will say I can't give too much details, but I am super excited with everything that comes into the works with SafeMoon. What they have building in their ecosystem is going to help out a lot of people with the off-ramp factor, especially, the older generations who want to learn about the DeFi space, who wants to actually make a retirement or invest into crypto versus, the blue chip stocks. They actually enjoy learning about us. I wish I could express how many different generations just love everything about DeFi. I mean, It's there. It's absolutely, truly phenomenal. The biggest thing is the questions. So with everything going on, it's going to get there. I'll put it that way. It's going to be there.
It's a good segue. It's a good segue because what I want to ask next, what is, and you like, first of all, if you're listening, you can find Glow on every major media platform. Discord is a great spot. You guys, what's your website, guys?
It's GlowToken.net.
GlowToken.net. GlowToken.net. Go and do some due diligence on this project because it's great. I mean, the reason I reached out to them is because they're part of this ecosystem that we're a part of at Enhance, and I've seen them moving for a while, and I was like, these guys need to come in and tell their story. So go do some due diligence. So you can feel free to go into the basics if you want, but what I really am interested in hearing is what you guys feel like and what you guys want Glow to be bringing overall to this DeFi space. And I know you can't say everything you want to say probably with that question because you guys have a bunch coming out soon, but what's the mission? What's Glow's mission? That's really, if you want to put a fine point on the question, what's Glow
I'll speak.
looking to accomplish?
Brian doesn't give away. So Glow's mission is to bring utility to the investors and to bring utility to our partner projects. That is the fundamental of the core. So we are obviously registered as an LLC, and so we're not just a coin. So we're going to have a couple of spin-offs from the coin, which will aim to bring utility to our investors, utility to other projects, and then ultimately benefit all the investors, benefit the community, benefit charities more. Another cool thing that we're doing, myself and Jared, so obviously we have our tax percentages built in to give a percentage to charity. So myself, Jared, and Brian now have agreed to do a beard wax when we reach 10,000 in donations. So we're on our way there. We're looking for other projects to get involved. So if anyone's listening who's part of a project and has a beard, or even if they don't, we can wax their chest. We can do something. We'd love to get you on board. It'll be a big day. It'll benefit charities, and that's sort of what we're all about. Is just helping others.
Amazing.
Oh, I know, and that's what I was gonna rub into Jared, because as you can see, this is a 1 week, or a week and a half beard. He can't grow one, so I just had to throw that out there for Jared. There you go, buddy.
That's gonna be rough, man. That's gonna be rough. And by the way, I'm glad that you went there with it, because that's what I've noticed as someone who's been observing for a while now and paying attention. It's that desire to give back through charity, but also to your holders. It's one of the things that I look for most in a project personally, and Glow is doing that absolutely.
Yeah. So
and it's cool to see.
Every time we do something, we sit back as a team and we say, why are we doing this? What is the purpose of doing this? Is it going to benefit the investors? If it doesn't benefit the investors, unless it's something that we feel like we really need to do to like sort of bring in funds or something like that, we won't do it. Because that's what we're here for. That's the only way we're going to start growing a large holding base. So like one of the partnerships we're doing at the moment, which we'll be releasing at tomorrow's AMA, will basically double holders that we currently have, which is pretty huge. And that's sort of the partnerships we want to develop, and that's my goal basically here in Glow, is to sort of just slingshot us forward. So I don't know who said it. I think it was someone in
now it's being given away the secrets here.
As someone before that we step back the slingshot forward, and I thought that's a very good analogy.
You know, and I will say this. So how many projects out there, how many projects do y'all know that are trying to build, you know, a blockchain, a wallet, everything, you know, known to man that's already got, you know, 30 or 40 of them out there, or heck, more than that. We want to be something that is unique. So the one utility that we are truly focused on at the moment is going to be one of a kind. And I will leave it at that. It is something that is going to be absolutely amazing. It hasn't been done. We have researched
you guys are so excited. I love it.
I thought he was going to say it.
And we can't give details on it until it's released. That's the bad part. But I promise you, it is worth the wait, especially U.S. investors. Even though it's U.S. investors that's mostly going to benefit, it's going to benefit worldwide. So I truly want to say that there is something absolutely beautiful in the works. That's the only way I can explain it. It's pure beautiful, what we have developing.
So, by the way, for those that are listening and those that care to listen, this is the moment in time on a bigger scale. Like I'm talking DeFi as a whole. The market is way down, just like you were talking about. This is the moment that you have an opportunity to buy. This is the moment. Like I know there's a lot of fear and worry, and maybe some of you out there even feel fearful or worryful. That's fine. Not everybody's going to make it. Not every company is going to make it. You find ones that have LLCs like Glow and Enhance and SafeMoon. That's a great strategy, in my opinion. We didn't even touch on that, but this moment is the opportunity to build your bags for when it does go in its cycle, and we do see the things we're tethered to return to their value, right? And this is just such a unique opportunity. Like this is the moment I was excited about when I first bought SafeMoon. I was like, I can't wait for things to go into that cycle so that I can actually make a difference in my family's life. And so you have these things that you're building, and that's what got me excited, because BNB is so cheap right now. And you know what I mean? Like this is the moment to load your bags with Glow. Like so the end.
Hey, real quick, I just want to let the people in the Twitter space know that we're getting close to the end of this first portion of the show. So if anybody wanted to come up and ask Brian or Shane a question regarding Glow, now would be the time.
Thank you, Morgan. Read my mind. Morgan, did you have a question before anybody starts coming up that you wanted to go with here? And we'll give them the floor for a minute.
We covered most of my questions, actually. I mean, if you guys want to share a hardship you guys have faced that was really, out of left field, whether it be, the most recent crypto dip or something else, if you want to just share that experience and how you pivoted and evolved.
All right.
Go ahead, Brian.
I'm about to say I can completely take this one to the next level. So, with my oldest daughter, me and her mother are no longer together, so I will put that out there. One of the hardest things that I've ever had to face in my life was being able to support to support a child. It was one of the hardest things growing up. I was 20 years old when I had my oldest daughter. So it came to a moment where I was pretty much making ham sandwiches and putting different bags of, generic chips on top of the sandwiches just so I had a different flavor every day. It was to the point that things got pretty rough, just to make sure that she was well taken care of. I literally gave up everything that I cared about or did care about to make sure that I could support my kid, to support my child. And, one of the biggest things that could have helped me along that route was a steady passive income. So that's one of the things I wanted to develop. Times have changed since then. Luckily, I've been able to, work hard and get to where I am now. But there was a moment in life that I was scared. I was, barely making ends meet. I was, barely able to provide for my child. She was always well taken care of, but don't get me wrong. I had my moments where I was, looking to go to my parents' house just to have a meal or looking to go to a friend's house just to eat, because, I want to make sure that I had a nest egg set up for her in case of any kind of emergencies. But, that come at a price. And that's where, having, like I said, having that extra passive income, having the opportunity to, get that financial freedom has really come into play. That's where the DeFi space comes in. I wish I would have known, or I wish SafeMoon would have been around, 10 years ago, back when I was going through this hard time. But it wasn't a thing back then, and it is now. So I am truly.
I can just relate to that so much. Like I'm sure a lot of people in the crowd are like, "Hey," like they're like, "Yes, exactly." That's me right now. I'm like, you said it well. That is exactly right. Where was SafeMoon 10 years ago, right? I want to know. I need answers.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Something that I've noticed in this space as well is that the people that are really successful have gone through a lot of hardship in their life, and they know what a day's work is. They're not afraid to put in a 20-hour day or sometimes even longer, to make things happen. So I think anyone who's sort of gone through, I think everyone in our team has some sort of a background story of some hardship that they've experienced in their life, and I think that's why we all sort of get on so well, and we can pull in one direction, and when we need to get something done, it's just done.
Yeah, well said. I can second that. That's been my experience in the E unit as well. It's amazing the similarities that you hear time and time again of the people that are really trying to do something in the space. So Shane, my final question to you before we open this thing up, and this is a total left field question, but I love Channel 4. I love BBC television. I need to know, what is the show that I can't afford not to miss? And our producer is just cringing, but I need to know, what is the show that I need to see that I haven't seen, as someone who lives over there?
I love SAS Who Dares Wins.
SAS Who Dares Wins.
Yeah.
I haven't even heard of that one. So, Who Dares Wins?
For those of you that
Awesome.
are listening on Twitter right now, Neal is frantically typing on his laptop for the show.
You know
You
what,
know,
John? I
I will-
think the Twitter account streaming just dropped just now.
Oh no,
The
that's
minute
the
John-
worst timing.
The minute John talks, he breaks it all.
Oh no. See, it was all because of the Captain Crunch. I was totally jealous about the Captain Crunch berries you had going on.
I was quite.
Shout out to John, man. This show thing is really his. We're here because of him, and yeah, SAS Who Dares Win. So like, I'm a massive fan of your guys' media channels. Like the British version of Shameless is probably one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. But thank you, I appreciate that. That was selfish. That was just for me. But hopefully we get Twitter back, because I was about to let people start coming up, and I don't know where we're at with that, but hopefully we get an update soon. While we're filling some time, I will say, guys, I've been thrilled with the last hour and a half. Really impressed by you guys. Feel like I've found some kindred folks in this space, and I mean, a round of applause to you and what you're doing with Glow, who you are as people. Really incredible with what we've learned today of who you are, and very, very thankful for the time. Very excited to meet the rest of your team. I'm sure they'll be no different. But I'm excited. I'm starting to feel a little FOMO, for being honest. Like, all right, what can I move around before the announcements drop? You know, like, I'm just thinking of myself, like, this is the moment. But you know what you could do too while we're waiting for John? Could you guys just tell us about because we haven't talked about it today. Talk about this, some of the mechanics that you guys have with your contract. Because I think it's really cool and neat, and it's a very giving back. And just for those that don't know, why don't you let us know?
Yeah, so our contract is, it's all based off of a stable coin. It's all based off BUSD. So any of the holders, they get 10% back of every buy and sell transaction in BUSD. Now, we do not have a transfer cost, never have had a transfer cost, because I cannot stand a transfer cost. That's my personal preference. I think if I want to move my tokens from wallet to wallet, it shouldn't be taxed. I mean, that's just personal preference. And someone wanted to implement our contract. So with that being said, we do not have a transfer tax. So when it comes to exchange listings later down the road, just remember that no transfer tax.
Morgan, I just sent you a request.
But all right, so that's the passive income side of it. Now there's also two lotteries. We have a $10,000 lottery and a $100 daily lottery, which I'm actually about to give out any minute now, as soon as I can, kind of get away from the chat, which it should be within, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 minutes. So if anybody, any new investors, you still have that chance to enter. It's $20 to qualify for the daily lottery. $20 worth of Glow gets you qualified for the $100 drawing. $50 gets you qualified for the $10,000 drawing. We are also a charity. This is my absolute favorite part of the token. We donate once a month to a charity of the community's choice. Now, with that being said, we do vet the charity. So if the charity is, one that does not meet our standards, we will go to the runner-up. But as of right now, so far, every charity that we have vetted, we have spoken to, that we've actually got the chance to get to know on personal levels, has met our qualifications. So as of right now, year to date, we have given over 30,000 in charity donations and continuing to grow with that. So far, everything has been good. I'm actually excited about next month's charity, but I can't say nothing yet. Our charity selection, but I can't say nothing yet. It's actually one that's personal to me. That's going to be one of the candidates, but I can't say much. And I'll leave it at that.
But I love that you guys have the passive income side, right? You have the BUSD reflections, but then you have the lotteries all the time, and you have the charity on top of everything else. I mean, that to me, it's like 3 buckets, right? It's like, hey, as an investor, here's something strong. Hey, as a community member, here's something for you. Hey, as a community, we're going to also do this. And I love that holistic approach that you guys are taking with that. But I think we're back live on Twitter. And I think we might have some questions now. So Morgan, who do we got?
We have Scotch Fox. Go ahead and unmute Scotch Fox. How are you?
I'm very fantastic. I actually think that I'm getting some really bad feedback right now.
Can you guys hear Scotch Fox?
Not really, no.
It was breaking up pretty badly. He sounded like a nice guy.
Scotch Fox is a legend. Like, you guys got to meet Scotch Fox. He's over in Scotland. He's an Australian in Scotland. Wonderful.
Oh, that's right up your alley, Shane.
When you cross the pond.
Scotch Fox, if you want to try one more time, it might have been a bad connection. Just give it one more go, and we'll see how it goes.
Okay, how does that sound? Is that better?
That's a little bit better. Yeah, there we go.
Look, I actually didn't have any major questions. I'm really enjoying the interview. Really appreciate the Glow team's time. I'm getting a lot of feedback here on my end, so I think I better just get out of the space.
Sorry, Scotch Fox. But if you have to leave and come back, we can try that. If anybody else has any more questions, feel free to request up here. But for now, no requests.
Okay. Do we have anything over on the YouTube side, John? Any questions? Just making sure. No, we're good.
I'm open book. So
I was able to discern what Scotch Fox did say. He just said that he didn't have any questions. He just wanted to say that he's very happy and proud for the team today for getting this done.
I'm telling you guys, Scotch Fox is an amazing guy. I want to say more, but I can't say more for once. This time it's me that can't say anything. Someone worth knowing. I can see a conversation between Scotch Fox and Shane in the near future. That's what I will say. But
I'm so glad you joined our space, Scotch Fox, and please feel free to reach out to me or Shane or any of the other team. So thank you for joining.
Yeah, you can always find me on Twitter, or you can just drop me a mail at shane@glowtoken.net even. Anyone listening here wants to do anything with Glow, just drop me a mail. I'm open to talking to anyone about anything.
I love that. I love your guys' whole energy, man. Like, this has been an incredible talk and conversation. I hope the goal's been achieved. I thought this was a great conversation back and forth. I think it was informative. I think it was fun, and I think it was educational. I hope you guys all got something out there that listened in. One last time, Brian, Shane, thank you. This was really special for me, and I appreciate it. I think Morgan, unless there's anybody else coming up, I think we can let you guys go. We're gonna kind of wrap up the show, talk about a couple more things, but truly thank you. Unless there's any last comments you guys want to make, I mean, feel free. I'm not trying to shut you up.
I just want to say to Morgan, yourself, and John for making this possible and taking the time out of your day to host us. I wanted to say thanks to everyone who's tuned in to take the time out of their day and listen to a bit more about Glow as well. I just want to mention that we have our AMA tomorrow on Twitter Space at 7 p.m. EST, and we will be dropping some exciting news there, so make sure to tune in.
Almost 24 hours from now. Almost.
Well, Shane took literally everything I was going to say.
Before you guys head out, we do have one comment from YouTube. XJai, didn't see the YouTube link. Look at those glorious, soon-to-be waxed beards. Love, glow, and enhance.
Oh, don't remind me. Don't. I don't.
John,
Oh, man.
I see a lovely moustache there that you want to get involved with it as well.
You know what? I have been thinking of getting like an epilator and just seeing what it would do. But you know what? I saw the Try Guys recently wax their junk, so I'm all down for it. I'm all down for it. That was one funny video, man.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, we're looking to make it a party, a waxing party. So we're going to live stream it all. I believe United DeFi is going to actually live stream every bit of it. So it's going to be an extremely painful situation. So if anybody wants to, tune in to see all of us scream and cry like 2-year-olds, you're more than welcome.
Well, thanks again for coming out here and being so raw with the interview with us. And just a tip, don't get sunburnt before you do that wax.
Oh, no.
And don't sweat. Don't work out after the wax. You don't want that. I've seen that happen after that.
Yikes. Brian, you weren't quite done, I think. You had a couple more things to say.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to, thank Neal, John, Morgan. Thank you for having me on. It was absolutely, a blast. I enjoyed every moment of coming on here. Thank you, Shane, for not yelling at me for speaking too much about things in the works. And thank you, all the viewers, for tuning in. It was absolutely great to see all of you out there. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, thanks so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Brian, with your family, again, I'm so happy for you. Truly, I'm very, very happy for you and your family, and I hope you get to go enjoy a long weekend here with them. And Shane, I hope you go to bed and get a long sleep and catch up.
Right there now.
Yeah, 24 hours for your space. I hope you don't have too much work to do before now and then. I hope you can get a good night's sleep, man.
And then Shane, I demand you to spend all day tomorrow spending time with your lady. All right.
I will.
So do it. No excuses. Because by the time I need you tomorrow is 11 or midnight your time. So literally spend all day tomorrow with your lady.
Will do. Okay, I'm going to knock off.
My internet just got knocked
having
out.
me here.
Am I back up? My internet just got knocked out. So sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're back. You're good.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks
again, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining Breaking the Ice in DeFi. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Have a good day, guys.
All right. Bye.
Morgan, man, shout out to Glow and their whole community. That was an incredible time.
Yeah, it was really touching. It's great that we get to have this interview and it stays on the internet, instead of just disappearing. Yeah. So that's really what we are striving to do with these interviews, is connect with the outside world, connect DeFi with the communities outside of just Twitter.
Yeah, agreed. Let me just ask you, Morgan, what stuck out to you in the last hour and 40 minutes?
I knew a bit about Glow before today, but getting to know Shane and Brian on the intimate level really stuck out to me. And I love seeing the innovation and the strategy. I think strategy can make or break a career, a business, and especially a DeFi. So it's nice to know that they're going in strong, and it's really just the beginning for them. It really is. They're much younger than some of the projects out there, and they're already doing so much. What what part of that interview stuck out to you the most, Neal?
I'm a broken record on this, and it's what I love about Enhance in what they've done with the E-Unit. They've allowed what Enhance has done on our side of things is they've allowed people that want to step up and have drive and do something to do it, right? We're here underneath Enhance's umbrella doing this show because they say yes. They say go for it. They let us try. And what I felt so compelled by with Brian and Shane, differently for both of them. One of them said, "Hey, I want to get a contract. I want to get it right. And I want to do something special for people so we can stop people getting rug pulled." And he wrote 70 some odd, maybe more. I don't even know contracts, and they all failed. And he kept going. He knew he had a way to make an impact in the space of decentralized finance, DeFi, right? He knew decentralization had a place in this world. And he said, "I'm going to make an impact." That's the only difference between him and many people in the space is he just said, "I am going to do this." That was amazing. On the flip side, you also had someone saying, "Hey, I identify with what you're doing, and I'm going to help. I can moderate, sure. Oh, you need someone to market? Yeah, you bet. I got that too. Oh, you need me to step up COO? I'm here. I'm going to go meet with a freaking real life and an exchange and lock that deal down." From community member to COO and making a major impact on a project. That is what I love about this whole space in Web3 right now, is because anybody that wants to fight can get in the fight. And then the other thing they said, man, blew my mind. Like when I think it was Brian about what he loves about this space is anybody can come in and create something different and new. They can bring use cases that no one else can, and that to me is what it's all about. So those moments were just, gonna be thinking about them all night.
Yeah, and the exciting part is we've got some more interviews with the Glow team lined up. So they mentioned that Kimmy was the first holder. That's crazy to me because she's now a part of the team. And Legion, we'd seen him, talk about how he was ready to leave his old work position, and he had been applying places, and then he found Glow. So that'll be a really exciting story to hear about too in the coming weeks.
Yeah, and is it okay if I talk about what we're doing next week?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Awesome. So I'm new to NFTs as a whole. Enhance is what brought me to NFTs. First NFT I ever purchased was the Enhance mask. I also minted an ape. And anyways, we have my next NFT project that I'm so excited about. One of the creators of the project, there's two guys behind it, but his name's Alex with the Misfits NFT project. It's a DAO manga project that they're utilizing NFTs for, and I am just so excited about it. I'm going to be a bit of a different conversation altogether because when we talk about manga and use case of NFTs and a whole other ring of decentralization, I'm really excited about that conversation. It will be pre-recorded. They have a lot going on. Their mint's about to go live. It'll actually be live before the interview, which is really cool to be able to talk to them in the midst of minting being live. But we'll be doing this a day earlier, and so be looking for that on YouTube. Maybe we can find a way to stream it on Twitter. I don't know about that, but I'll leave that to John of what we can do. But it will be live on YouTube same time next week, and then the following week we'll have Kimmy on and Jared. So that'll be awesome with Glow back again. But I do want to thank everybody for being here. We do have a little bit of an update for Enhance. Morgan, tell us what's Enhance token and Hello Enhance is cooking.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of bombs being dropped in the past 30 days, I'd say. But in the most recent week, we have a lot to cover. Let me just get there. Just some bullet points. I mean, staking for enhanced token is live. You can, get right in there. All of this is found at helloenhance.com. So it's got the
Can I
parking
comment
tab.
on that
Oh
real
yeah,
quick?
go for it. Go for it.
For staking, this is something important because it is a differentiator for us. I think it's a really important note. I'm getting the reactions from my team live. It's the best. But this is something I think everybody needs to hear about staking. Right now, the D app isn't live. It's coming very soon. But the project, the core team said, we want our community to get max benefit from this staking opportunity, and said, and as soon it was deployed on the blockchain, they said, guess what, guys? Staking's live. If you know how to use BSC scan, if you're willing to educate yourself a little bit, you can stake. And that's something to me that really, really stuck out for Enhance, because you don't see that happen too many times. Their product isn't even out yet. And they're going to have an awesome product for staking. We will, right? But they said, you know what? Let's just get this in the people's hands that want it. And they said, here it goes. Do it through BSC scan. If you want to follow some steps, you want to do some learning, here's some easy steps. And that was a big moment for me as an investor and as a community member of the project, because I just don't see people doing that often. So I wanted to comment on staking just a little bit. Morgan, back to you. Keep going. Lots of updates. I won't.
Well, no, feel free to chime in on these other topics too. So the next thing I was going to talk about was you can now mint an enhanced ape via fiat or other crypto payment options on the merch shop. And one of the things that you'll get if you decide to mint an ape that way is a bundle which includes an NFT t-shirt with your ape on it. So, you get the physical representation along with the NFT. And, if you aren't yet into crypto yet, you can buy that with your credit or debit card, which is really great. And, that happened very quickly, that not everyone has realized the options to get involved yet.
Am I allowed to chime in on that?
Yep.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone, because when I saw that, I was on the road and I was like, okay, what just happened? So for those of you that are listening, you can actually just go to shop.helloenhance.com and you can connect your Coinbase wallet. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. And you can purchase your NFT, your enhanced ape, through the shop via your Coinbase wallet. And you can select from, I think it's one of 7 or 8 different tokens or coins. And it's amazing. I just think that is one of the biggest steps into bridging everything that Enhance is trying to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
congratulations, guys. When I was on the road for that, I wasn't able to congratulate you guys on that, but wow.
Yeah.
And not only that, at the merch shop, you can also get, your enhanced energy drinks. If you buy, I want to say, is it a case or 2 cases? You can even customize that enhanced can to have your branding on it. And then the other day, they actually announced that they have ready to pre-order the Safe Moon version of the enhanced energy drink.
I'm actually so excited about that, Morgan. I haven't asked for permission, so I'm not going to say who, but a very, very good friend of mine bought me a case, and I'm so pumped, so freaking excited. I respect him, and I don't want to just put him on blast, because that's not why he did it. But if I'm on my phone for the video, or otherwise I'd be already DMing him asking if I could blow him up. But he is a part of the unit, and he's someone who's just an incredible guy. Just thank you. You are very excited for my can of Safe Moon energy drink, branded with enhanced energy drink cans. So freaking cool. Anyways, back to you.
2 more things, because I know next week we're going to have other things we can go over as an update. But you can now also direct buy or use the direct buy contract to buy your enhanced token. So pretty much that just entails you sending X amount of BSC, I believe, right, to that particular buy contract, and it just goes straight in your wallet, similar to an airdrop.
Yeah, Tristan Cat just did it, and it worked perfectly. Shout out Tristan Cat. Love you, brother.
Nice. And then the
He
very
just
last
joined you today,
thing,
by the way.
nice. The very last thing I wanted to touch on was June 1st. At that point, I believe staking for the enhanced apes as well as the enhanced masks will go into effect.
And people will be able to stake their tokens in a much easier way. So if you're not good with BSC scan, which is okay, but if you don't know how to navigate those things, that DApp will be able to be a one-stop shop on staking. And another maybe next week we can talk about a little bit more details of the staking. I don't want to take our time today, but I think that was everything, right, Morgan?
No, that about covers it. On the 18th, I believe, which is a Saturday, we'll actually be talking to Chase Coleman, CEO of Enhance again, so we can touch on some of that stuff at that time as well. Because, I'm sure there will be a lot more to bombs dropped by that point anyways.
Of course there will be. And I just got to say, man, like last week was incredible. This week was incredible. I just really quickly, I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This is a brand new channel on YouTube. This is a brand new show on YouTube. We had I think we had over 200 views, if I'm not mistaken, of episode 1 with Chase. We have about 150 followers on Twitter within 48 hours. Again, shout out Glow for that. They really put us on. And when we launched the Twitter for the show, really just so incredibly thankful for you guys that are identifying with this. I'm excited to see it grow, and it is growing. We have a calendar that is filling up. If anyone out there knows a project that's great, like we've been talking to with Glow and Misfits and Enhance, of course, send them our way. Let us know who they are. Introduce us. We are finding, like I said, some good traction and people coming in saying, yes, I want to do this with you. But we want the people building DeFi to come in this format and introduce themselves like this, because we think it's a good way for us ourselves to learn and for everyone else to hear more about why DeFi is so important. But thank you again for tuning in with us today. It's been almost a couple hours, and we appreciate your time and attention. That's my final word before the outro over on YouTube gets started. Morgan, did you want to close up anything?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any questions, so I won't go into anything too much. But thank you again, Neal. Thank you again, John. John is our wizard in the back, putting all of this together.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you wanted to mention anything, any announcements. I don't want to drop too many bombs, so I'll keep my mouth shut. Where can we find out more about Enhanced Media, John?
Yeah, thank you guys for listening on today's second episode for Breaking the Ice in DeFi with your hosts, Neal and Morgan. As you know, they'll be doing their thing every week on a Sunday. Sometimes there will be record episodes. We might even have to do some preemptively on a Saturday just to circumvent certain things. But you can find us on YouTube. I can't say youtube.com/enhance media because we haven't gotten to that point where we can have our magical personal URL. We need around 100 subscribers for that. So by all means, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is on top of the Twitter space right now. That way we can get to that point and subscribe there. We have a lot of shows coming up. We have 6 shows in the works, one of which will be launched, I believe, in 2 weeks from now, and that'll be a podcast for Enhance. Other than that, that's all I can say. I hope you all enjoyed so far, and I'll let Neal and Morgan exit.
Yeah, again, Morgan, I'm so thrilled that you're doing this with me. Really, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And John puts up with so much. I can't. I'm a lot to deal with. I come from a sales background, and sometimes I'm a little thick-headed, and John puts up with all of it. So thank you, John, for all that you do as well. And we're going to keep growing and getting better. I'm already thrilled with how much we've grown in a week. But stick with us, enjoy the journey. This is Breaking the Ice in DeFi, and I hope everyone has a great weekend, a good long weekend. Spend time with family. The world does not revolve on Twitter or YouTube. It actually revolves around you and outside and your family, and that's what matters. Just like we heard about with Brian today. Just such an incredible story. We didn't talk about that, but great day today. Great interview. Loved it. Thank you for being here. Have a great weekend, and I can't wait to see you guys again next week. So
I can't even fix all the problems that you left in my head. I don't understand why you kept on telling me that I am dead to you. You always find ways around me leaving, but now I have found my way. So get the fuck out of my head. If I can fall in love, then I'll make my way back to you. I'll be so desperate for you, but